With the new release of WandaVision, we get a glimpse of S.W.O.R.D, another secret spy organization in the MCU, other than S.H.I.E.L.D. Here we're going to break down other secret spy organizations in the Marvel universe, all with acronyms that spell a certain object or weapon. We'll start with the well-known S.H.I.E.L.D. Depending on the comics or live-action MCU, S.H.I.E.L.D. stands for two different things, which I'm not going to bother spelling out here, you can read them for yourselves, but basically it functions the same. It deals with threats to international security. Basically they protect Earth from physical threats that can't be dealt by ordinary people. Key figures include its long-serving director, Nick Fury, and key locations among others is the Triskelion, its headquarters. And then we have S.W.O.R.D, which, like S.H.I.E.L.D, is given another meaning in the live-action MCU compared to the comics. So S.W.O.R.D's purpose is rather similar to S.H.I.E.L.D, but focuses on extraterrestrial threats. So S.H.I.E.L.D is more grounded on Earth, while S.W.O.R.D deals with aliens and outer space and stuff. It operates out of an orbiting space station known as Peak 7, shaped like a sword, obviously, and might even be the one seen at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, where Nick Fury was hanging out. And a confirmed MCU S.W.O.R.D agent is Monica Rambeau, who during her childhood crossed paths with Captain Marvel. Next we'll talk about H.A.M.M.E.R and A.R.M.O.R, and both of these groups have appeared on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D as Easter eggs on a wall map. So about A.R.M.O.R, as in the comics, A.R.M.O.R stands for Alternate Reality Monitoring and Operational Response Agency, which basically means that they deal with extra-dimensional threats and alternate realities. They dealt with the whole Marvel Zombies thing, who came from another dimension, even recruiting Morbius as an A.R.M.O.R agent, as he was an expert on biological threats. They also dealt with Lyra, Hulk's daughter, from an alternate future timeline, who eventually joined the group in the end. Next up is H.A.M.M.E.R. H.A.M.M.E.R is an acronym for nothing really. Despite its logo, H.A.M.M.E.R has nothing to do with Thor or Mjolnir, nor does it have anything to do with H.A.M.M.E.R Industries. Its founder, Norman Osborn, yes, that Norman Osborn, at the time just wanted to replace S.H.I.E.L.D with H.A.M.M.E.R. He gave the job of figuring out H.A.M.M.E.'s meaning to his deputy, who presumably never got around to it. The team consisted of supposedly reformed supervillains and went on a hunting spree against superheroes who resisted government registration. Eventually its members joined Hydra, S.H.I.E.L.D's longtime nemesis. Now let's take a look at some S.H.I.E.L.D subdivisions. We've got Strike, Stake and Wand. For Strike, the comic and MCU are two different organizations altogether, but both having the same meaning: Special Tactical Reserve for International Key Emergencies. In the MCU, Strike was S.H.I.E.L.D's Special Forces Commando unit, focusing on counter-terrorism. It was led by Brock Rumlow, aka Crossbones. However, at the same time, most members of the team were actually undercover Hydra operatives. In the comics, Strike is the British version of S.H.I.E.L.D, and this British intelligence agency is led by Commander Lance Hunter, whose live-action MCU version is a British guy who became a S.H.I.E.L.D agent in America. Yeah, it's kinda messy, I know. Now, let's take a look at Stake, which stands for Special Threat Assessment for Known Extranormalities. They deal with supernatural occurrences or paranormal stuff, as obviously shown in its logo, where they have a werewolf, coffins and stakes. A key member is Dum Dum Dugan, old friend of Captain America from the Howling Commandos. And then there's Wand, which is the Wizardry, Alchemy, Necromancy department. It is S.H.I.E.L.D's Magic Defense Division that deals with threats related to magic and sorcery. Agents of Wand are all magic users, obviously, led by Director Pandora Peters. And last of all, I'd just like to mention a Chinese version of S.H.I.E.L.D, which is Spear. There's still no clear meaning to the word, they probably just like the name Spear. So being one of the world's superpowers, China built their own super intelligence agency on the same level as S.W.O.R.D. S.P.E.R is headed by Director Xian Cheng. They have a floating headquarters in the sky known as the Circle and their own superhero team known as Ascendants. With the upcoming Shang-Chi movie, we can speculate that the MCU might eventually introduce more Chinese-related Marvel characters and possibly even introduce S.P.E.R. So let's end it with that. I'm not going to bother explaining organizations like Hate or Hydra. Thank you for watching and goodbye.